What's going on, everyone? So, make sure you subscribe to the channel, share this if you want, give a like or a comment, and I thought we'd change the scenery, but it didn't come out as I wanted to. On top of it, I got a new phone, so the recording is slightly different. More so the quality. I still have my old phone, so I could still use it. But I really like this phone. So, what we're going to talk about in this channel is, sorry, not this channel, but in this channel, on this video is life is your perspective, and you can change it however you want to. So, what does this mean? Well, any way that you perceive something, you can change it at any time. There might be some tendencies the way you perceive something as something bad, but or something you don't like. So you could have a book that you read and you don't like it. But you have the power, once you either know this or gain control, to change how you feel about the book. Now, if you don't like the book, that's fine. You don't have to necessarily force yourself into liking the book or lying about it. But you can change your perspective on anything, not just the book. You could tell yourself, oh, the book isn't that bad. You could actually say, the book is really good, I just don't want to read it again. You could say it's the best book ever. You could basically say anything you want about it. Now, the thing is how you're going to hold it to yourself. Are you creating a resistance in you, basically, against it? Is it holding you captive? Does it got you in captivity? Or are you just letting things flow? And why I'm saying this is because your perspective, don't hold it to stone. Don't hold it to heart. Because, first of all, with a lot of people, your perspective changes almost daily. So you're bouncing from here to there with how you think about something. And that always changes. Some people do stick to something like a statue and stay the same way. My phone battery was low. I just wanted to see if it was still recording. And the very basis of what I'm talking about is you can change your perspective of anything, how you feel about any moment. And that's like very key. It's very simplistic, but it can be complex because some people hold something very strong about it, such as they say I'm a loser when they talk about themselves. But that's just the way they see it and they perceive it. And you can change it at any time to however you want. Or you could just very well see it as it is and not really think anything about it or perceive it in any way other than what it looks like, but non-discriminatory, not judging it, just seeing it for what it looks like. A lot of people say something like, I'm trying to find a good one basically. I guess one of the first ones was one of the better ones. But when you very look at something like, I hate this guy or I hate this person, or just say you don't really like something, and that's fine if you don't necessarily enjoy it as much as other things, and maybe you want to do other things, and that's fine. But it's more so when you hold this stuff to stone and you feel very, very strongly about it, because then it captures you and then you're drawn in, especially for a person that's not enlightened, maybe has a weak will. Um, you keep saying like the day sucks, but it doesn't necessarily suck. That's just what you're saying about it. Same with a movie. You could say that house is ugly, but then you could say that house is beautiful. Other people might say that house is beautiful, and you can change how you feel about it. You can override your system basically. There might be a first initial thing like, oh, that person's ugly, or that person's stupid. But you may not be aware of that. Most people aren't aware they're getting these, your mind's just coming up with things initially, like right off the bat, that they're not paying attention to. And they're kind of falling victim to that. So, like, more extreme cases would be just say something happened, maybe like a fire or just something. Did you ever see somebody act over dramatic to something and they're not fooling around, they're like completely serious? Sometimes older people, the elderly, they do this. They get like real shocked by something, and it's very shocking to them. It's kind of funny, but like there's nothing wrong with being shocked, but they just have this like perception of it that that got them in that state of shock. So it's just the way you perceive it. If you keep perceiving things maybe in a negative way, such as bad luck or all these things keep happening to me, why does my life suck? You're perceiving it in a way that doesn't, you can change it basically. You're just perceiving it initially in a negative way. You don't even have to perceive it at all. So you can change how you perceive anything, and this is the basis of your reality, because most people are basing their reality on the way they perceive things. So, there's so many examples. I can't even find like a clear one that I really want to touch on, but it's pretty much endless. People say stuff about my beard and my mustache, for example, of myself. But really, that's just them saying how they feel about something or and what initially came to them. But it doesn't matter at all, actually. And it pretty much has nothing to do with anything. And again, that's what they first hit them. So when somebody sees something, maybe the slums, maybe the gets, or just anything that can seem like terrible or very negative, it's just the way you perceive it. a lot of people tend to see things negatively and some stuff as good, you know. And it can get confusing, again, because it can be complicated if you look at it that way, but it's also very simplistic. And just know when you can change your perspective of anything. So, like, when someone sees something as, I don't know the way to describe it. That's the thing. So, like, a group of people, you could say a group of friends, maybe even best friends, they say that sucks. Like, and they're making fun of something, like, not like jokingly, kind of harsh, basically. Like, that sucks. That's gay. That's like the only way I could think of it at this moment. And they're like judging something. They pretty much had these pre-judgmental thoughts there before they even was seeing the situation that befolded their eyes, that happened in front of them, and these thoughts just came in and they just basically parroted them. Um, so, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about when people say, "Oh, that's like you're with people." So sometimes when you're with people, especially a good group of friends or your friends, they there's some type of pressure to analyze something and judge something very automatic, almost like an autopilot. We could say autopilot. That's a great word. And they just say something about something. Nothing needs to be said, especially when you're being judgmental about it. And it doesn't really suck. That's just what first came to your mind. It doesn't, again, and so you can change it. It's like a vortex. It's almost like a wormhole that you go in, but it's not necessarily true. It doesn't really actually hold any truth at all until you see it for what it actually is. And hopefully that makes sense, because that's like a prime example when you're with friends, and I see it all the time. Especially if one says something and then it kind of like spreads like a wildfire, and someone says like, it's not all the time, but like instantly someone, if you look at younger people, like a younger group of people, you'll see like not like very young, but like teenagers, they'll adolescents, they're very quick to usually judge something. And it's because they've been programmed to, basically, unfortunately, but that's okay. And they say like, "Oh, that sucks," or they just make some comment about it, but that's because they were pre-programmed into doing that. So just know, anything in your life, you can change the way you feel about it, or just the way you perceive it. If you don't, and I'll say this just to clear up a lot of stuff. If you really don't like doing something, and if something can't make you focus, then don't do it. Because then it's not going to be beneficial at the time, especially for someone who's, just starting, maybe their awakening, just started meditating, you could say, or whatever it is. If something's really throwing you like out of moment, really, really hard for you to focus, then stop doing that. Or if you just genuinely don't like something and you can change your perspective on it and it's not really a big deal to you, you just would rather do something else. It's all about taking a hold of you. Is something really taking a hold of you? Is it lingering over you? Is it like something that you dread? Can you change that? And do you have the ability to change that? And if you can change that, well, are you fine with it, or do you actually want to change it? Or do you have to be okay with it at the moment? Which most people to some degree are going to have to do that, because it doesn't happen instantly. It takes a little bit of time, if not some longer times. Some people are in relationships they've been in with years, because they're literally changing a perspective that they don't want to be with the person, but they keep trying to make it work, but it's not working. But they're changing their perspective and they don't even know it. Oh, it's not that bad, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but but you don't want to be with the person, or that person doesn't want to be, and they keep changing their perspective on it, but it's not working out. And they don't even realize they're changing their perspective. That was a longer video, sorry. They always come out to be like longer, but hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully this video wasn't a dud. Yeah, I actually wanted to get it yesterday, but we got it today. There's a lot of topics, so if you have any topics that you want me to get, let me know. That's it. Subscribe to the channel and have a nice day. Peace.